Hi, this is Cousin Russ. This is part two of handling a data error report. And I made some entries into my database, and I am going to run the data error report again and see how we're doing. Remember, I had identified everybody who had a data error in the report and have that in my to-do list, but I just added some people to my database, and I want to run it again. And this time I'm going to start from that data error report. Let me bring it over onto the screen and make it full screen. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, this says I have 136 pages of errors. Well, there's a reason for that, and that's why I wanted to bring this report up first, because I would go to sleep or quit my research if I had that many errors. They are really errors in the database, but it is how the report is generated and how I do my database. I like messy screens to look at, because I record what I see and where I got it from. And there will be conflicting information. There will be bad information. What I like about this report is, in fact, it will tell me the errors that the program sees as potential errors. And as I pointed out the last time, I can pick and choose the errors that I want to address. And at this point in time in the life cycle of this file, I'm going to exclude any profiles without a birth date or without a marriage date. I'm missing entirely too many of those to bother to track them down at this point in time. At some time in the future, I will in fact address those too, but for now, I got enough to keep me busy. So I'm going to cancel that, but I have 136 pages to deal with. And here's the reason. I use AltFacts. So what I want to do, what I have done with the preferred facts, I evaluate what I have in front of me each time I look at the information, and I will select the preferred fact. I've talked about that before, so I won't cover it now, but there's an error. There's a checkbox here that says include only preferred facts. So I'm going to check that. So it's looking at everybody in my database, and it's going to include only the preferred facts to see if there's any errors based on the preferred facts. Now, this is, if I remember correctly, this is going to probably give me exactly 18 pages of errors. It's far less than what I had. But you may remember in the last recording, I had identified all of those until I got a report that was clean. So what I have to do is use the selected individuals, and I'm going to include everybody. It's the same list of people. When I have all individuals, it's the same list of people, but this time I want to filter out somebody who already has a data error fact in a database. Remember, I go from this report and enter information, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I want to filter out everybody who I already have a data error report fact. I click OK. That's going to change this number down a lot, probably by 1,000 people. So the only people in this report will be those who I have not identified with an error, and I'm going to apply that. And as I was talking, it had already run the report. You see that I have one person, but I'm going to let the report run here for a second. So I have one of my new people that I added to my database. I, in fact, had an error for that person. So the report is done. So now here's what I do. A new person, new data error. I'm going to double click on their name. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to create a new fact, plus sign, and I'm going to call the fact the data error report. It's right there. I click OK. I have the fact there, and I'm going to put in the exact error message. Now I have, as I showed you before, and I'll just bring it over, I have a notepad that has all the data errors in it. I created this and I have it available. So I can use the exact error message that it's right there. I could type it, but I copy and paste. And I want to put a citation. I want to know where I got this fact from, because I like to run the undocumented fact report. So I will select use an existing source citation, and by source title, I go down to the bottom and I have a citation already established for the data error report, and I link to it. So I have the data error report error message, and I have it cited. And I want to click OK. That's nice. But now what? So now I'm going to go to the people workspace and the tree view, and I'm going to clear the filter. And now I'm going to create a new filter. I want to clean the right-hand side, and I want to filter in anyone who has in the data error report fact, the description that contains age at the time of death greater than 120, which is the error message that I saw in the data error report. I click OK, and that's going to tell me that I've got 4 people who meet that criteria. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I look at any of them, I will see that, in fact, in the people workspace, that I got to fix that. 1722 to before, and it gets a little tricky when you use before on the data error report. I need to fix that, but there's that data error report message. There's the to-do list. That's not the one that I just did. I just selected somebody in there. All 4 of these people have that data error. Here's the one that I just created. So I'm going to go to her profile, and there is the data error message, and I'm going to add a new to-do list and put it into the data error report category in the to-do list. And I see that I had already entered it. I'm going to get rid of one. So there is the data error message that I got the first time when I just ran the report. I now have it as a fact, and I have it in my to-do list. All I'm trying to do is record my errors. So the next time I work on this person, or if I go to one of the citations, I will look up to see what is wrong with this. The dates are, in fact, 120 years or more. So the data error message is correct. I need to fix it. The only way I'm going to fix it is by finding a record or look at the record that I already have. I may have made a typo, which certainly happens. I don't know about you, but it does for me. So on my to-do list, there are 3 items that are added to there's the 4 people that have that error message, and there she is that I just added. So there's the 4 people with that data error report category. Again, I do 1 error at a time. I get everybody who's got that error. I get it as a fact. And when I find the correction or I find the right record that fixes the data error, I will remove it. And that will be in my next recording. But I just wanted to show you taking from a cleared data error report, adding some people and running the report again. And yes, I had an error when I added that person. Hope that makes sense. Please leave a comment in the community or on the blog, and I'll respond. And there will be another recording shortly. Thank you very much and have a great day.